Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is something a little different to my normal. I've been filming the monthlies, Western Zodiac monthlies today, and I went outside for a breath of fresh air, and I was pretty much, well, I felt, I'm not even going to say ungrounded. I felt grounded, but I felt weird. You know, there was a message that was wanting to come through, and it wasn't necessarily a message for any one of the zodiac signs or anything like that. So I was aware that I needed to do something new. So I've decided to, I came back in and, you know, I waited to see what ideas float to the surface. I've only got as far as Leo on the Western Zodiacs, by the way, so far. But I had been planning, I've been thinking of, I mean, there's loads of readers that do daily oracle wisdom and what have you, and daily readings and what have you. But as you know, I'm studying astrology and I'm really into the symbolism of the degrees. So of Sabian symbols, inside degrees, Chandra symbols, Omega symbols, Azoth symbols, all this sort of thing. So I had been thinking for a while about doing a solar degree reading. Now, I want you to tell me if you like it, if you want to see more of it. I'm also using it as an unveiling of my own tarot deck that I made several years ago out of trading cards from the 90s that I then totally forgot existed, decided to do it again and then found them. And I had completely and totally forgotten that this thing that I was going to sit down and do, I'd already done several years beforehand, and then put them in a box and forgot about it. So, yes, they are Marvel and DC and Amalgam, and I think there's some X-Files and Babylon 5 cards in here that I have decorated with a little, let me bring it to the camera, a little Rider-Waite sticker. There's other various little bits and bats on them. Let's face it, my camera's not so good that you're going to see them, but I've done some personal readings with these and they work lovely. So I thought I would bring them to YouTube. Now I was thinking of doing this hero tarot story, or you know, do a daily hero tarot reading or a weekly hero tarot reading or something. But no, the solar degree. Today is the day of the Jupiter-Pluto, nearly said that wrong, Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Saturn at 24 degrees Capricorn. And I suppose I could have focused on that degree, but I've focused a lot on that degree. So the sun today is in 9 degrees Cancer. So this reading could also be useful for you if you have any planets or asteroids or Uranian planets or other conceptual points like Black Moon Lilith at 9 degrees Cancer. And I'm going to leave these degree readings up so that, well, you can find them as I do them, because I want to know if you want me to do more, but they ain't going to be daily. Not a chance. Not when I've got a full-time job as well. So you should have seen all the shuffle stuff going on up here by now anyway. So let me bring up the cards. Now what I was given as an image was waves. So yes, it's a 9-card grid. Yes, I know there's 18 cards. Don't argue. It's a 9-card grid, and I'm seeing each of these lines is a different deck. Each of these lines is a different wave of energy coming across us. I was also drawn to the Kabbalistic image of this. If I was just to pull these down, then I can see an echo of the Tree of Life in there. So I will see how it reads, because what I'm looking at the moment is there seems to be fear about the home, fear about home and family, fear that everything that we have taken for granted is stable or not fear that it's not stable. Sorry, I should phrase that better. Is it stable? Is it under threat? We have the challenges of the fantastic here, which are an unusual combination of challenges of the unknown and Fantastic Four for the amalgam events. And I've dived straight into the cards, and I wanted to do the solar degree, but I wanted to point this one out first, since it's that sense of our home is under threat. I am caught in a position where my actions are pretty much dictated, and the dreams that I've been given, I seem to be ruled by and limited by in a way that's not good. Another amalgam card, Dr. Doomsday, Dr. Doom and Doomsday, but signifying the Emperor here. So it's almost like the dreams that have been provided in this first wave started from fear of what's happening to my home. So this could be fear of economic, fear of the virus, all sorts of fears that I really don't even want to mention because I don't want to give them any credence, because I vehemently disagree with them. But there is a lot of fear in the world at the moment. And let's face it, I'm speaking from a nice Western household. I don't yet have to worry about civil war on my doorstep. I don't have to worry about famine on my doorstep. I don't have to worry about, although some would argue, an overly totalitarian government on my doorstep, as is when we look at Hong Kong. But there is that fear of the home, which is giving us pointing out to us that there are better dreams for us to work with. Interestingly, 5 of Cups here and 5 of Cups here with Magneto. But what I'm feeling is with this Princess of Cups here, she's almost enticing that fish out of the cup to her, or it's appearing to her as some sort of magical Disney moment where it's jumping out of the glass and singing to her or something. But it's okay to be angry about what has changed, because some of that anger is justified. However, acting on that anger alone, acting on the hunger to make things as they were, will achieve nothing when there is a more divine purpose. But you can see how it can be shown to you how your previous dreams have been limiting you. Now that probably sounds harsh, because if you're watching a tarot reading on YouTube, then you're going to go, hang on a minute, I'm a little bit more self-aware than that. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. But as I recommended in another video, have a look at Dr. D'Angelo's series on white fragility. One, because it's a good idea at the moment with everything that's going on, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, with the whole white people being finally forced to come to terms with what racism really is. And it ain't just what white people define it as. It's a lot more than that. But also that shows the shape of thinking of just how much your dreams have been programmed and steered by all sorts of things. Comments from your parents when you was a child, what the TV told you when you was a child, what the TV told you last week, whatever the new fashion craze that's going to happen next week is. We're going to possibly have a generation of people being programmed by TikTok. Although I can't imagine that programming is too extensive. It's like having people programmed by Vine. But there is a wonderful clarity coming from this sense of threat, from this, oh my God, everything's turning upside down. It's enabling you to look at what you can value and just how much or how little you can achieve. And when I say how little, I don't mean that in a dismissive way. We have the Eight of Pentacles here, which I chose Puck of Alpha Flight. Now, Puck is short, vertically challenged. But the whole point of him is that people underestimate him because he is short. And he packs a hell of a punch. He is a phenomenal acrobat. And that how a little bit of work can have a massive effect, just like one small member of Alpha Flight can save the world numerous times, and no one would have ever expected it because of the judgments that come up beforehand. Because it looks like the power's shifting here, because on this middle row we have the Emperor here being clarified by the Eight of Cups, but also being clarified by a king, Aquaman. Now, you've seen the movie now, you know he's not just the guy in the orange shirt that talks to fish. There is, with the Eight of Cups here, it is saying, right, we can dispense with this form of rulership, form of thought control. The world is burning down in the background. Maybe somebody should get up off their backside and do something about it. And there's the this Minotaur Emperor just sat there holding his scepter, and you know, I've half expected him to have a pint in his hand. He doesn't, but he's not paying attention. Where you are being put into a space of being more alone, you are being given space to be reborn, where things can be made right. You won't see this in... Oh, you might. Let me see if I can angle it right. Hologrammatic Batman card for justice. Because this whole reading is about finding some clarity. Ace of Swords here. Storm as the High Priestess. That clarity and that insight, it ain't going to come quietly. But you are able to protect and have... you are able to protect... You won't know who this one is. This is Glimmer from Defiant? Yeah, Defiant Comics Dark Dominion. Which you won't have heard of. But Seven of Wands at the top of the hill. And I always like to say that the Seven of Wands card is also being greeted by your peers. Yeah, you're defensively guarding your new territory, but that guarding aspect remains with Glimmer and the Four of Pentacles here. But the sky is open, the sun shines on this person's face. They are victorious. They can climb that hill and climb and gain that open space. Now, let me read out some of the symbols from the degrees. From the degree. So this is a violent hailstorm. This is Cancer 10. So, because obviously 9 degrees to 9 degrees 59 minutes 59 seconds point ... is the 10th degree of Cancer. So Cancer 10, a violent hailstorm. Great disruption serves long-term continuity. By submitting yourself periodically to excruciating soul ordeals, to severe tests and trials. I didn't read this beforehand. You make sure that your destiny is self-renewing. You pull in at these junctures what is alien or strange or far removed from your own way of being. By suffering the imposition of the dark stranger, you completely shake up all smug structures. Much of your life is keyed into enduring the under onslaught, being able to form yourself into one who can encompass absolutely everything. The path indicated is neither chaotic nor random. It is simply pointed to take on experiences and lessons that are needed and to fully transmute the karmic sequences. You have a core commitment to tackling the hard stuff with a fury of intent that is just enough to make the whole thing work, revealing that you can go do the impossible if your will is singular and your inner strength to go the distance is as solid and as real as any obstacle, or even more so. Oh my God, I wish I had read that before I did the reading, but I am so glad I didn't. This sense of threat, this economic chaos, this impending chaos, and the chaos for certain areas of the world is far more in our minds than it is in the real world, but it is being reflected in places in the real world. But there's so many what ifs. There's sectors of the American population going, what if this happens? I'll leave that one there. I don't want to touch it with a barge pole because I've made my feelings clear. But if I haven't made my feelings clear, Black Lives Matter. But we are all human beings here together, and we are all going through these through these journeys. And some people chose that journey for whatever reason. Yes, I am obviously showing my political leanings here. But anyway, but there's also what ifs with the law that's just been passed in Hong Kong about the national security law, which is basically looks like it's a tool to crush any form of political dissension. So some national security law, eh? So these are trials that are sent to give us the tools to overcome them. Now, another symbol is an artist making shadow boxes in which he is placing collages and various small objects. That's the Omega symbol. You have a unique way of combining things, a way that can bring forth new ideas and possibilities. Your energy can startle others, catching them off guard and helping them to confront whatever they've been avoiding. You are a revealer of the strangeness of life, which helps people get beyond their neat and usual structures. So, let's just have a look. I don't know if the Sun is related at all today to the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, but it is related in the form of you are in the sunlight. You are being touched or have been touched, depending where you are in the world, by the sunlight focused of 9 degrees Cancer, while that Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is going on. Right, there's Mercury. Let me sun in the first. Here we go. It's got no significant geometrical relationship with the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. So the only significant relationship between the Sun and the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction right now is you. Use this time for a rebirth. Use these challenges. And let's make the world a better place, eh? I was going to pull an oracle card, but what's the point after that? I think that's covered everything. Cheers.